Hello and welcome. Welcome to the little Likac 12 cast-ons of Christmas 2024/2025. My name is Amanda and I'm coming to you from Derby in the United Kingdom. Yes, today is day 9. It is January the 1st, 2025. Oh my goodness. And it's about 8:30 in the morning, and as is fairly usual for the UK winter, it is wet and grey and a bit dreary. But it is the new year. Have you made any New Year's resolutions? I don't really tend to think of resolutions as such. I don't try and sort of say, right, every day I'm going to do this, or those ideas flit in my head and I kick them out quite quickly because you just set yourself up to fail. But I do like to set myself some sort of goals and intentions. So we are going to stick with the more stash out than in intention. And also, I do way less today than I did on 1st of January 2024. Not by a massive amount, but by enough. Enough to keep me happy, to make me think, yes, I did achieve something there. And so that is another goal. Well, those are 2 more goals. That 1st January 2026, I will be lighter than I am now, and 1st January 2026, I will have used more stash over 2025 than I have bought into my stash. So shall we get on with today's cast on? So I said yesterday that this was not going to be a surprise to anybody who's been following the podcast, and it is all about the Socksy and You Know It make along. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up today's yarn, etc., and then I'm going to, at the end of this video, I'm going to explain what the Socksy and You Know It make along is all about. So if you are new to the channel, new to my podcast, etc., and you're interested, I will tell you all about that after I have opened the yarn. And therefore, those of you that know exactly what I'm talking about because you're sick of me talking about it every month, then you can switch off at that point if you wish. Okay, so here is my box of all 12 yarns for the year. All wrapped up. And number 1 is here. And actually, because of the shape of it, because it's already caked up, that means I am limited until a choice of 2 of which this is going to be. So I kind of already know which brand this is going to be because there were 2 that are this shape wrapped up. So I know which brand it's going to be. I just don't know which colourway it's going to be. So let's open it up. Exciting. Oh, what a way to start the year. What a way to start the year. It's everything I love. It is purple, it is stripy, and it is sparkly. Yes. Feel like it's giving me Wicked vibes. Look at this. Oh, what a fabulous way to start. So this is from Dragon Hill Studio, and I bought this yarn at Yarndale last year. Oh my goodness, what an amazing choice for day 1. So excited to cast this on. I will be knitting these as plain vanilla socks, and I'm not doing any contrasting heels, toes and cuffs this year so that I can use the maximum amount of the beautiful, beautiful striped yarn. Isn't it just so gorgeous? So the colourway on this as well, I love the colourway name on this, Purple Sparkling Broccoli. I actually love broccoli and I love purple sprouting broccoli, so everything about this yarn today is just perfect. Why am I so excited? Just to give you a little bit of information about the yarn, as I say, it's Dragon Hill Studio, and their sparkle sock base, it's Sherborne Sparkle Sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, 400 meters, and yeah, purple sparkling broccoli. Oh, amazing. I just love the way it's presented as well, like this. Absolutely beautiful. So I cannot wait to get this started. I've just went through all my project bags to decide on a project bag that I'm going to use all year for the Socksy socks. Squirrel in the garden, sorry, distracted. And I decided, because this year I knew that there would never be more than 1 ball of yarn in the bag, whereas last year a lot of the socks I did contrasting heels, toes and cuffs, so there was well, there was never actually 2 big balls in there, to be fair, because I wound off 20-gram minis. But anyway, I decided to use a slightly smaller bag, and I went through the bags that I'd already got and found the Knitting Chickens bag, and that is going to be my bag for this year. So let's get that in there. I will be using 2.5mm needles. I'm going to go and get those in a minute. I'm probably going to use Knit Pro Symphony ones. I know last year I used Knit Pro Zing. I think this year I'm going to use Knit Pro Symphony, 2.5mm needles. And yeah, what else was I going to say? Something else then. Don't know. Oh, I suppose I ought to find a stitch marker as well. So yeah, need to choose a stitch marker that's going to be in there. Oh, well, for today as well, of course, I will be using this Progress Keeper for this one, which is the number 9, and I got these from Denise at Dear Designs. So I will just clip that onto the yarn label for now. So yeah, there's the bag it's going to go in. I think this was an Amelia X Joy bag, which she does amazing project bags at very, very reasonable price on Etsy. So yeah, so that's going to be my bag for the year. And right, what else is there to tell you? Plans for today? Not a lot. Probably going to try and do a little bit of tidying and clearing. Oh my goodness, the Mystery Yarn Club for next year sold out now on the 4-ply base, on the 4-ply 4-ply minis base. That is now sold out. As I said yesterday, I was limited on the numbers I could do for that because of the company not having the company that I buy minis from, they had not really been able to restock over Christmas, etc. So when they told me how many I could have, I was like, yeah, that'd be fine, that'd be plenty. But you guys have blown me away with how many people have bought the Mystery Club. So I didn't sleep very well last night, and at one point I was rereading some sections of The Mysterious Affair of Styles by Agatha Christie, so that I could just make sure that I'm getting exactly the right little extras to go with it and things like that. So yeah, so excited. And I've started reading the next novel as well for the next month, for what will be the February Club, because I'll be launching that probably next week, in the middle of, like the end of the first week of January. I'll be launching the February Club. So yeah, so I thought, oh, I better actually make sure I read this one in advance and just get my head around the vibe for it, so I can decide on colourways for February, which just seems crazy, but you'll want a mood board, won't you? Okay, so I said that I would tell you all about the Socksy make along at the end of the video. So I am going to go and cast this on, and yeah, so if you want to know more about the Socksy make along, I'm afraid that will be right at the end of today's video. Right, see you later. Have a great day, everybody. Hi, and we're back. So it is about 7 o'clock, half past seven on New Year's evening, New Year's Day evening. I knew what I meant. And I have had quite a lazy day today. What did we do? Did a little bit of shopping, and I've spent a lot of the day on the sofa knitting and crocheting. So I've done 2 more lanterns because I didn't get a lantern done yesterday for my Mystical Lanterns blanket, so I've done 2 of those today. I've been working on these socks, and I also did a little bit of work on the chunky waistcoat. So I mentioned, I think in yesterday's episode, that I'd had to rip back a whole load of the waistcoat. So last night I got back to where I got to before. Not making any sense, am I? So I had finished the back of the waistcoat last night. So today I've cast on and knitted about that much of the first front panel. So let me show you though the progress I've made on these socks, which I'm going to carry on working on this evening. I will be watching the first episode of the new series of The Traitors tonight, which I can't wait. So that's why I'm filming this now, because that's on at 8 o'clock. And then there's the follow-up programme straight after that. So I'm going to be watching that with my daughter Eloise. We're watching that together tonight. Oh, and talking of Eloise, I'm going to get her to come on the podcast, on the not on the podcast, but on one of these cast-ons at some point before she goes back to university, to show you the amazing blanket she has made. Okay, so ta-da! This is how much I have done. So about half the leg, I think. let's have a look. Have I got, where's my other, yeah. I always do my leg, including the cuff, to be 6 inches, and the way I measure that is I just use my DPNs. So you can see I am potentially halfway, perhaps a tiny bit over halfway. I may well get the leg of this finished tonight. So knitting them on 2.5mm needles does make them knit up very quickly. Oh, and I know I said this morning that I was going to use symphony needles instead of the Zing, and I went to my box where I keep all my needles, and because I was doing the Socksy and You Know It socks, I just pulled these out automatically because these are what I used all last year. So we're back on the Knit Pro Zing instead of the symphony. Doesn't matter really, does it? So yeah, oh, you can see the sparkle on that. So that is just knitting up beautifully. And as I say, I am just going to carry on knitting on that this evening. Yeah, and if I start to get, well, sometimes if I knit on socks constantly, my fingers do cramp up a little. So yeah, we've got 3 more days and I'm still debating 1 or 2. Tomorrow, I know definitely what I'm casting on tomorrow, and Friday and Saturday, yeah, I'm pretty certain about Saturday. So it's just Fridays that I'm still umming and ahhing over. Anyway, you'll have to wait and see, won't you? Thank you for joining me. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment if you like. Are you casting on for the Socksy and You Know It make along? Oh, and carry on watching at the end of the video where I will tell you all about the Socksy and You Know It rules. So yeah, and if you're joining in on any other socks make alongs, feel free to drop a note in the comments about other socks knit alongs. So I know Kelly from Roro and Cades is doing one, but I haven't seen the details on that yet. And also Alice from Socksy Nana Alice. I'm trying to think what her YouTube channel is. Socksy Nana Alice. She's doing a sock along as well with her friend Diane, and I think her YouTube channel is My Pink Bathtub. I've never watched Diane, if I'm honest. I might have to give her a watch. So anyway, they are running a sock along as well, just called Socks Along, SOX. So if you know of any others, pop them in the comments below where people can potentially double dip. And yeah, as I say, if you want to know the rules of the Socksy and You Know Make It Along, they will be following next. All right, thanks for watching. Bye everybody. So by the magic of video editing, although I've put this at the end of the video, I'm filming this morning while I've still got the energy and motivation. I've got 2 squirrels in the garden and they're chasing each other around. It's chucking it down with rain, but they don't seem to care. Yeah, so the Socksy and You Know It make along for 2025. So basically what this is a knit along for an adult pair of socks in any kind of yarn. I use self-striping because this originated with the idea of me trying to use up as much of my self-striping sock yarn as possible. You are welcome to double dip, so if you are entering another sock knit along and the timing is right and you want to enter yours, absolutely fine. So yours can be, it doesn't have to be self-striped, it doesn't have to be vanilla pattern, it can be any kind of sock pattern, but it does need to be an adult pair of socks, not children's, babies, etc. Okay, so how do you enter? We do the entries through Ravelry or email, okay? So preferably, please enter on the Ravelry threads, and the Ravelry forum for Little Likac is in the description box below. If you don't use Ravelry or you're not sure how to enter it onto the Ravelry thread, then please email me at littlelikac@gmail.com with a picture of your finished socks. Okay, so when do you need to do them? You have 2 months for each pair of socks. So any pair of socks that you cast on in January, and it doesn't have to be the 1st of January, it could be the 10th of January, it could be the 31st of January. There are 31 days, aren't there? So any pair of socks that you start in January, if you finish it by the end of February, then you can enter them into the January thread, because I won't draw a winner until after the end of February. Okay, so at the moment, now we are in January 2025, I will be drawing a winner from the November thread, because people who started a pair of socks in November 2024 had until the end of December to post it. So we do have some people who post a pair of socks every single month, like I do, because I knitted a pair of socks each month last year. The only time I didn't hit the deadline of actually my deadline of finishing it in that actual month was when I broke my elbow, and I still managed to get them finished about I think it was about a week into the next month. So some people do post a pair of socks every single month. Amazing, fabulous. Some people takes them 2 months and they just did 6 pairs over the year. Some people just dipped in and out and I think just, you know, did the odd pair of socks here and there. But yeah, so the time frame though is 2 months. So any socks that you start from the 1st of January to the 31st of January goes in the January thread, but you might not have finished them up until the 28th of February. Are you with me so far? So we draw winners, and I draw winners and announce those on my usual little Likac podcast. So as I say, the next podcast that I do, I will be announcing the November winner. And as I said as well, then email me or a picture of your finished socks and I will post that into Ravelry, because so please be aware that if you email me that picture, all right, that picture of your socks will go into the Ravelry thread with your name, usually just your first name. I usually just put the first name of that person so that I know whose socks they are. So I might say these are Dorothy's email entry or Jane's email entry, and because I have a couple of Janes who email me, I might put the first initial of the surname, so that if that person wins, I know who it is. And that does mean that your pair of socks, the picture that you send me, will be on a public forum Ravelry. Okay, I think that's everything you need to know about it. And prizes are usually sock yarn out of my stash. Oh, actually, that's not strictly true, because I found the cost of posting abroad last year got quite expensive. So if you are an international viewer, then the prize is a sock pattern, and if you and I will gift that to you. You get to choose the pattern up to, I think we say, about £7. And if you are a UK winner, then I post you the sock yarn. Okay, all right. Any questions, please ask below, or come over onto the Ravelry thread, onto the Ravelry group, and ask questions in there. And yeah, hope to see you getting involved. Thanks very much. Bye.